make my lip go. Will you do the thing? You're going on my blue suede shoes. Here's the tune of the Jukebox.
Everybody in the hot seat still. Do run, 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 do run, run. Somebody told me that his name was Bill. Do run, 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 do run, run. Damn, hot seat still. His name was Bill. Damn, and he walked me home. Do run, 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 do run, run.
Yeah, you sure are a cute little thing. You don't mind if I sit down now, do you? Lord, you don't. Whoa, 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 what? You want me to what? Oh, baby, baby, baby. You know what the Big Papa likes. Let me tell you a little bit about it. Chantilly lips and a pretty face. Ponytails are hanging down. They wiggle when they walk and they giggle when they talk. They wanna make the world go around. They ain't nothing in the world like a thing that they do. Make the act so fun. Get my money, feel really loose. Well, down in the Olympics in New Orleans, way back in the woods among the evergreens, this little log cabin made of room and wood, and in it lived a country boy named Johnny B. Good. Well, now I never learned to read or write so well. He could play a guitar just like a ringing a bell. Any twisters in the audience? We got one twister. We're looking for well, you can twist. Would you like this? The peppermint twist. Anytime. What's your name?
Paris.
Paris. Well, sweetheart, you enjoying that chocolate ice cream? Come on up here on the stage. I'm going to introduce you to Kim, Tina Turner's sister. The meanest woman in rock and roll is going to show you how to boogie. Yes, you can tell she's ready to get on that stage and rock and roll for you folks. All right. She says, Kim, I'm a professional. I got it under control. Yeah. All right. You ready? She's ready. She's ready to go. All right. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Well, she got her daddy's car and she cruised to the Emily Center, yeah. And she forgot all about the library like she told her a midnight. And with the radio blasting, going cruising just as fast as she can now. And she went fun, fun, fun till her daddy takes her cheaper away. All the girls really hate her 'cause she walks and she drops like an A-star. She makes an Indy 500 look like a Roman chariot race. It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night. I should be sleeping like a log. But when I get home with you, I find a thing to do. Make me feel alright. You make me feel alright. Say that song. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. I wanna hold your hand. And when I touch you, I feel happy inside. It's such a feeling that my love I can hide, I can hide, I can hide. No. Twist and shout, boom, 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 baby. Come on and work it on out. Work it on out. Work it on out. Oh, yeah, you look so good. Oh, yeah, you got me going. Just like I knew you would. Woo! Shake it up, baby. Shake, shake, shake it, baby. Come on and shake it up, baby. Everybody sing with us. One word. Thank you very much. Ooh, well, I bet you wanna have a new about your plan to make me blue with some other guy that you knew before. And the two of us guys you know love me more. You took me by surprise. I say when I'm just ain't gonna do you wrong. While you're ain't gonna do you wrong. 'Cause I don't wanna, baby. All I'm asking is for a little respect when you come home. Oh, baby, when you come home. Ooh, yeah. Kiss her, sweeter than honey. Guess what? Stuff in my body. All I'm asking is for a little respect when you come home. Oh, baby, when you come home. Just a little mister. R-E-S-P-E-C-T. I know what it means to me. When you come home.
Baseball's ultimate sanction, which is lifetime ineligibility. This sorry episode began last February when baseball received firm allegations that Mr. Rose bet on baseball games and on the Reds games. Such grave charges could not and must never be ignored. The matter of Mr. Rose is now closed. It will be debated and discussed. Let no one think that it did not hurt baseball. That hurt will pass, however, as the great glory of the game asserts itself and a resilient institution goes forward. Let it also be clear that no individual is superior to the game.
In Cincinnati, Rose responded to the commissioner's statement.
Regardless of what the commissioner says today, I did not bet on baseball. I've made some mistakes, and I think I'm being punished for those mistakes. However, the settlement is fair, especially wording that says that they would have no findings I bet on baseball. It's something I told the commissioner back in February, and it's something I've told you people the last 4 months. My only regret up to this time is I will not have the opportunity to tell my side of the story. However, I will add, I will tell my side of the story in the very near future. My life is baseball. I hope to get back into baseball as soon as I possibly can. And the only thing I can tell the fans is I did not bet on baseball. Got too much respect for the game, too much love for the game, and I appreciate how they've treated me over the years, both as a player and as a manager.
Yet another question remains unanswered. Will Pete Rose still be considered for the Hall of Fame?
I did my part to get in the Hall of Fame. It's up to you people who do the voting. Yeah, I got all the hits and scored all the runs and won all the games. I can't really worry about something that's not in my control.
For the present, in the words of Commissioner Giamatti, the case of Pete Rose is closed. The news in Texas centers on Nolan Ryan, the game's all-time strikeout king and owner of a record 5 no-hitters. How about that? With Arlington Stadium decked out in Ryan regalia, the part-time Texas rancher and full-time pitching legend was 6 strikeouts away from reaching an unprecedented number 5,000.
Well, we're fortunate to have a man as great as Nolan Ryan on our team. I'm a Texan. He's a I love the guy. He's just, he is a Texas hero.
The only question was, which Oakland batter would it be?
I've thought about the order that we're going to face in the A's lineup and who it's going to be. I've pondered, the question of whether you can get it in the 6th batter of the game or, the second time around, and whether it can be Canseco or McGuire. If they're going to be unfortunate enough to be that other footnote in the history. I wouldn't mind going down in history as his 5,000th strikeout, so I'd have to sign the ball with him, so it wouldn't matter.
And if he does get me, what the heck, he's got 5,000 other guys, so I'll take my shot against him.
Breaking ball. 4,995.
Oh, I remember in '66, I was sent from AA ball to Class A ball to catch Nolan for 3 starts in Greenville, South Carolina. And I remember the first time I tried to catch him, I'd get down and I'd give the sign and a full squat and everything. And if he threw the ball belt high, you couldn't get a glove on it. He threw so hard, his ball took off so much. So you had to almost stand up and bend over just a little bit. You couldn't get down in a full crouch and catch his high fastball.
Strike 3. 4,996.
Nolan was pitching for the California Angels, and I was playing for the A's. He dropped down to throw sidearm, and I think I started to scream as he was throwing the baseball, because to see him drop down to throw sidearm, I was trying to get out of the way. It hit me in the calf of the left leg. And as I went down, I was just thanking God that he didn't hit me in the shin bone, because it would have cracked it right in half. There's no doubt about it.
4,997.
I've seen him when he pitched here with the Mets, and I saw him at California, but most of the time was when he was with the Houston Astros, and every time we faced him, the score was 1-0, 2-1, whatever, and he seemed to strike out 8 or 10 men every game or whatever. And, this is a phenomenal thing, what he's done. Nobody will ever break that record. Nobody will ever strike out 5,000.
4,998.
I look at him as being an immortal, and as soon as he's eligible for the Hall of Fame, they could just kind of ship him by whatever cattle car from down in Texas and just send him right up to Cooperstown. That's the kind of career he's had.
Fastball. 4,999.
For every hour he's in a baseball uniform, he's probably lifting 2 to 3 hours or working 2 to 3 hours in the weight room, in the pool, on a stationary bike, stretching, and that's why he's been the statistical marvel he has been for 22, 23 years.
And here comes the memorable moment.
6,000 probably is more meaningful to me now at this time than 4,000 was, and I think because of the time elapsed, and it's rewarding. I really don't have any thoughts about 6,000 because I don't really feel like that's realistic, and you know, my attitude is I guess I'm not making predictions because I certainly didn't think 5,000 was.
Congratulations, Nolan. Time now for this week's quiz, brought to you by today's Chevy truck. Houston's Glenn Davis reached 30 home runs for the third time. What active player has hit 30 homers the most? Few major leaguers have a better grip on hitting than Tony Gwynn of the Padres. With an average of .340, Gwynn could win a fourth batting title, and if he does win it, he'll be the first National Leaguer since Stan Musial to win 3 batting titles in a row. But make no mistake, hitting is no guessing game to Gwynn, who takes a portable video cassette player on the road, a practice he began 6 years ago. At first, the idea was to identify mistakes, but now he also studies opposing pitchers.
How it came about was kind of a fluke because we bought a VCR. You know, we really hadn't even used it. And this one day, I was struggling, and I asked my wife to tape my bats while we were on the road trip so that when I came home, I could watch them. And when I came home, I looked at it, and the minute I saw it, I knew what I was doing wrong. And from that point on, I hit like .340 for the rest of the year, had a 25-game hitting streak. And just for mental peace of mind for me, I just continued to do it. But I just feel like the better prepared you are for a game and the more knowledge you can acquire, the better you're going to be. And that's why I do what I do.
What Gwynn does is go back over different at-bats for different pitchers. This way, he has a better idea of what to look for when he's up at the plate.
Front foot is locked in. Solid front leg. Head down on the ball. Perfect. When I'm hitting good, that front foot goes almost between shortstop and second base. And when I'm going good, that's where it'll land. But sometimes when it goes haywire, sometimes it'll land closer to the plate. Sometimes it won't go at all. I just kind of pick it up and put it down. I'm what they call a diver. When I'm at the plate, I kind of dive into the ball. As long as this front foot is going almost towards shortstop, not quite, between short and second base, I know that I'm okay. Rick Mailer is a guy who will change speeds quite a bit. He likes to get me off the plate when he's ahead in the count. And sometimes like that, he'll come inside, and in order for me to hit it, I really have to get my hands through because I'm not what they call a full hitter. I'm more of a line drive hitter who uses the whole field, but basically everybody pitches me away, so I usually hit the ball to left field. I know sometimes people look at me slide or something and say, God, what's wrong with that guy? He didn't smile or anything, but to me, this is business. Craig Lefferts is fastball slider. Every now and then he'll turn a screwball over, but I don't believe he likes to throw it to left-handers a lot. With one strike, if he's ahead in the count 0-1, he usually likes to throw the slider. Good slider, and that at bat, and you see him frustrated because I just didn't have a clue on that. But the difference, I think, between a lot of hitters today and the guys who are pretty consistent hitters are guys, when they get 2 strikes on them, they don't change. Their makeup as a hitter remains the same. And even with 2 strikes, I still get a good pitch to hit, and I get a base hit this time. You hear a lot of people act like they're surprised that people get hits on 0-2 pitches, but it's just a confidence factor that lets you know that when you get up there and you're behind the count 0-2, you don't panic, you know, because then a lot of hitters will swing at anything 0-2, but as long as you know you got a bat in your hand, you're able to do whatever it is that you do. Now, Lon Darn is a guy who just has about 3 or 4 just good quality pitches. There's one of them is a slow breaking ball. This is a guy who statistically I hit well, but whenever I go up there, I never feel comfortable against him because he's got what you saw there, good breaking ball, great fork ball, not really overpowering. He's more of a spot pitcher to pitch in. See, that's what a lot of pitchers like to do to me. They get ahead of me, and they like to back me off the plate. Because, like I said, I hit the ball to left field a lot, and in order for a pitcher to feel like he's got control of that outside part of the plate, they back me off the plate. And he's got a real good fork ball. That's just a tough pitch to stay behind and hit the ball the other way. I mean, you really have to wait a long time in order to hit that ball hard. So with 2 strikes now, I'm figuring I've got a battle because he could throw that fork ball again. But this time he throws a fastball in and just fight it off. That's kind of like what I do best right there, is just take the inside fastball and fight it off and hit it the other way. You know, John Smoltz, he's really a good young pitcher. Throws hard. Fastball, changeup, good slider, good curveball. This is what I call working the count. I'm trying to work the count. I'm ahead 2-0. And off a young guy, you just feel like you're going to get the fastball. But for me, sometimes I get ahead in the count and I don't want to be too anxious, so I'll just take a pitch. And it's 2-1 now, and I'm still ahead in the count. So as a hitter, you feel like you've got the advantage because he doesn't want to throw you a good pitch to hit. Well, it looks like a change. Oh, he got it up. And that's the one pitch when you get it up. If you make a mistake with it, a hitter really takes advantage of it. All four of these at-bats that we saw today, I just remember in my own mind. Guys who have been pretty consistent over their careers, I think, have that ability to remember almost every at-bat, every situation. And I don't know. I just think that with video, it's a lot easier to remember because, I mean, I've got my library at home, and like all the footage that we saw today, I have at home, except for the first at-bat off Malin. But I remember that one, too, because he got ahead in the count 0-2. As a hitter, the thing you feel proudest about is the fact that they feel like they can't pitch you one way. You know, they have to keep changing it up on you, because if they can pitch you one way and get you out consistently, then you're making some mistakes. You're not doing things consistently well. But when they have to keep changing on you, you feel like, I must be doing something right because they keep telling me, God, I throw a ball away, you hit it to left, throw a ball in, you hit it to right. I mean, I throw it down the middle, that's my only hope. I hope you hit it right at somebody. And I hear that a lot.
Tony Gwynn just continues to amaze. How do you spell a hit? Gwynn.
Well, now, let's spell the answer to this week's quiz, brought to you by today's Chevy truck. The Braves' Dale Murphy has had the most 30-homer seasons of any active player. He's done it 6 times. These were not the best of times for the Phillies' Chris James. By June, his average dropped to near 200, and the next thing he knew, he'd been traded to San Diego for John Kruk and Randy Reddy.
I just tried so much and tried so hard that I just kept burying myself deeper and deeper, and I didn't have any confidence in myself, and, you know, I wanted to quit. I really did. I felt like, you know, when I went to the plate, I was already out. And I was tired of the same results. I would go out and I would work on hitting every day. I'd be at the park at 1:30. Hitting extra.
Chris James won for his last 16, and even during the game, Dennis Menke working with Chris.
Trying different things, but things I would try wouldn't work, and that made me that much more frustrated.
John Kruk of the Padres was also in a funk. After an outstanding season in 1987, he struggled through a year of injuries. This season, he still couldn't get on track.
I was in a situation where I wasn't going to get to play that much because I was terrible. If I was managing the team, I wouldn't have played me either. You know, I'm not going to say anything bad about Jack McKeon for not playing me. A lot of people in San Diego wrote me letters saying that you should be upset with McKeon and all, you know, all the things he did to you. But he didn't do anything to me. He gave me a chance to play. I appreciate that he did trade me because he could have just set me on the bench for the rest of the year. You know, who would take you if you hit 180 sitting on the bench all year? No one wants you the next year.
But since being traded to Philadelphia in June, Kruk has shown new luster at the plate. A 19-game hitting streak and a whopping average of .350.
I think most of it's just a change of atmosphere. I got here, and the first thing they did when I got traded here is they called me in, and they said, you're going to play every day, regardless. Righty, lefty, it doesn't matter. You're in there. You're playing. We want to see what you can do. We want to see if you can get back to where you were in 1987, and I've always hit good here. You got a great backdrop, AstroTurf, ball gets through the infield quicker, ball carries good here. This is nice, man. Good hitter's park. I don't know about the pitcher. They may not like it, but I don't pitch. I don't worry about them.
Chris James isn't worrying much these days either. He's moved from third base back to the outfield, and since the trade, has 20 extra base hits, plus an average of .295. almost 100 points above his first half totals.
As far down as I was hitting 199 at the All-Star break, and I felt like there was no coming back. I felt like I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. I just felt like, you know, throwing in the whole season. And then I guess just all of a sudden, I don't know what it was, it just clicked. I had that feeling inside that, hey, I had a good feeling at that at bat. And once you have a hitter has that feeling inside, you're going to have good results at the plate.
And so far, this trade has brought nothing but good results. Fans, one of the longest and wildest shutouts in Major League history took place between the Expos and Dodgers. 22 innings. Even the mascot got into the act.
They want Youppi off the Dodger dugout. He's bugging the Dodger players, and third base umpire Bob Davidson is throwing Youppi out of the ball game. We've seen it all now, huh?
Well, he was wrong about that, because in the 16th inning, with the bases loaded, 1 out, the Expos had a chance to win it.
Fly ball, short right. Hatcher near the line makes the catch. Here comes the run trying to score. He's going to be safe. The Expos win. And now the Dodgers will appeal to see if he left too soon, and he did. He is out.
A call the Expos questioned, and in the 22nd inning, it was Rick Dempsey with the answer.
Uh-oh, this ball game now has the Dodgers on top. 1-0 on a long home run by Rick Dempsey.
And Dempsey was also the Dodger hero on defense, picking Tim Raines off first base in the bottom of the 21st. Now it's the bottom of the 22nd. 2 outs. Rex Hudler leads off first, and Rick comes through again.
Hudler running. The pitch is high. The throw by Dempsey will be in time, and the ball game is over.
It was the second longest shutout in Major League history. How about that? Time now for our Player of the Week, brought to you by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. We salute the remarkable Nolan Ryan, who was determined to give the sellout home crowd in Texas a night for all time.
Anytime that you get to do something and your hometown crowd turns out as they did tonight, this year with the Rangers, I couldn't ask for any more, because it's past any expectations I had with the way the fans and the organization and my teammates have accepted me here.
Take a visit to Williamsport, Pennsylvania, home of the Little League World Series. And for one-time Little Leaguers like Keith Hernandez, it's a trip down memory lane. That's all for now, folks. See you next week on This Week in Baseball.